So over the weekend, we got a sneak peek at what's coming in the next big update for Grounded. And tonight we actually got another teaser here. So this teaser post here says, ready for a tease to update 1.1. The first surprise by this is the fact that it's 1.1. I thought the next update was going to be 1.06. Making this 1.1 means it's kind of like a major update. So it'll be the first major update post 1.0. So what we're going to do is we're going to skim through this post real quick and take a look at some of the new stuff that was revealed in addition to what was shown in the teaser trailer over the weekend. Are you ready for the next Grounded update? Because we are. This past weekend was Obsidian's annual Life Extra live stream. Through the help of our employees and the viewers, we raised over $28,000 for our local children's hospital, the Children's Hospital of Orange County. For reaching our $18,000 goal this year, we had a very special video we played to help tease the next update. Check it out. So I'm sure most of you have already seen this. If you haven't already seen this, I did a video on it a couple days ago. I'm going to also leave a link to this blog post down in the description below if you want to take a look at it. It's only like a 20-second video, but the main thing is going to show here. We're going to see down below anyway. So down here it says, did you catch it all? Koi scale chairs, an additional row of backpack inventory, and an expanded hot pouch with 3 rows. But that's not all. Our focus for this upcoming update is expanding on the quality of life features of the game, adding more base building options, and adding a few often requested features. Here's a taste of what's to come. Additional inventory row. We're adding an additional inventory row that is unlocked automatically when you start the game. Okay, so that's just huge. That means we're immediately going to have 40 backpack slots instead of 30. So I was kind of speculating, I know others were as well, how are these backpack slots going to be updated? Is it going to be we have to craft a bigger backpack? Are we going to have to use milk molars, raw science? Is there going to be some kind of quest or something to increase backpack slots? That's not going to be the case. Instead, we're just going to be getting an extra 10 inventory slots, which means we're going to have an extra 33% inventory slots immediately after this update goes live. That's awesome. Hot pouch expansion. With this update, there are now 3 rows of hot pouch items that you can switch between. With keyboard and mouse, you can move between them with the mouse wheel. With a controller, you can move between them using the hot pouch radial. So right now the game has a single hot pouch, so you have your 8 items down there. And what that does is it lets you access your inventory or your backpack without having to go into your backpack. Adding the 3 rows means we'll now be able to have access to 24 of the 40 items that'll be in our backpack, which is going to be very useful because I know that I'll have situations where there's something in my backpack and I'm in the middle of a fight or doing something. Maybe I'm in danger, or I'm trying to get away from something, and I got to quickly go into my backpack and try to grab an item that was not in my hotbar. So being able to quickly scroll through the hotbars is going to allow us to just have access to most of our inventory rather than just a small part of it. Next up, new decorative furniture. We are adding several new vanity items for your base, including the koi scale chair. So here's a much better look at the koi scale chair from what we saw in the trailer. So as you can see here, it's got a koi scale on the back. It's got what looks like sunken bones here with eelgrass, and it's got a berry leather pad here. I don't remember seeing the berry leather pad in the trailer. Additionally, there's a stuffed larva. I'm not sure if that's in the game right now. I don't think it is. This looks like the wall mount for a spiny water flea, and I believe that's a tick. It's either a tick or a dust mite. It looks like a tick. And then back here, it looks like we have almost like an acorn grandfather clock. That looks like a clock, and that's kind of what that looks like. You'll notice we have some vases over here, so not sure what these are made out of. Maybe they're made out of clay. It looks like they're kind of made out of clay. That's what it kind of looks like. So, and then back here, looks like there's some type of fencing that's made out of the burr. So I'm not sure if that's maybe that's for internal, maybe it's external. I don't know. It could be just like a fence you put outside. It could maybe be for a fireplace or something like that. And then over here on the left and the right, you're gonna notice we now have new stairs. These stairs look so much better than the existing stairs. They look like they're made out of mushroom, and I'm not sure if this is going to be some kind of, I don't know if this is, it doesn't look like burr wood, so hopefully it's just mushroom and weed stems or mushroom and something to make that. So that's all the stuff that's in here. So of course we kind of knew that we were going to be able to that they were going to be adding, because they've said before, they were going to add the additional wall mounts for, I guess they were going to say every bug, so I don't know if it's going to be all of them at one time, but at least a couple of them were on there. They're also going to add stuff bug versions for everything in the game. Again, not sure if that's going to be coming in this exact update, or if it's going to be just partially in this update. Also, if you're looking at these stairs, I know they're kind of cut off here, but the coloring here almost looks like, I'm wondering if this has like a full stair and a half stair, because this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this has 1, 2, 3. Now this might be part of the stair over here, but it also could. It kind of looks like it almost might be a flooring piece. So perhaps we're going to get half stairs. That'll be really useful, because I know I've had situations where I like building where I'll have like a wall and then a half wall on top of it, and the stairs just don't match up with it properly. So you end up having to build these wonky little things to be able to get up to the second floor. So that'd be cool if we have, even if we don't have both of those options, just having these new stairs, they definitely look better than the grass stairs. And I really never use the spiral staircase just because the way that they never just seem to line up the way I want them to. Let's scroll down here and see what else they have to say. Build from storage. An often requested feature is to build directly from the storage containers and pallets. This works very similar to how crafting works. Well, this will be great because I know I have situations where I'm trying to do something in my base, and then I have to go grab something out of a chest just to be able to build it or like build it. So basically, like, let's say you wanted to build this chair. Right now, you'd have to have all these parts in your inventory to place it down and build it. Looks like we're just going to be able to place it. And if there's a nearby chest that has all these parts in it, you'll be able to build it or super build it. That's super useful. It's just going to save a lot of time. And then last but not least, the zipline upgrade. So this got cut off. It looks like it's probably saying will now be able to be found during your adventure, which will allow you to go up zip lines. I'm not really that huge of a fan of zip lines just because I feel like they take so long to build. But being able to go back and forth on a single zip line means you don't have to worry about building them at like a super steep slope. So hopefully this will have like a decent speed so you can kind of just build them level maybe. Or at the very least, you only have to build one going to and from places instead of having to build a giant tower with a giant slope going one way, and then where that lands, then building another tower up and building back. So this is going to make zipline building and traversal much better. And then join Casually Grounded stream tomorrow, Wednesday, November 16th. A special guest, game director Adam, joins the stream and talks about these new features and more, in caps here. Headed your way with this upcoming 1.1 update. See you tomorrow. Casually Grounded airs every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern at twitch.tv/Obsidian. So make sure you jump over there. What I want to do real quick is make sure they did not update the feature board. So let's hop over to the feature board. So right now for the feature board, basically just has quality of life and additional base blueprints. Everything that was basically just mentioned in that previous post falls under these two things, whether it's the crafting from the storage and then the base blueprints being all the new cosmetic stuff as well as the building pieces. And then it doesn't look like anything else is down here, so that's kind of where they're leaving it at. So what I want to do now is I'm going to hop over to the game. I'm going to talk about I'm pretty interested to see what else they're going to be talking about, because for me, I'm more interested in gameplay mechanics rather than cosmetic stuff. I know a lot of people are interested in this cosmetic stuff. Of course, I'm definitely going to check all of it out, but I'm going to hop over to the game real quick and jump in. And I just want to kind of talk about some other stuff that I hope they talk about, or at least they're considering for the future. With this next big update seemingly focusing mainly on quality of life and then some additional building stuff, there's a couple of things I hope they'll consider doing in either this update or maybe the one after it. First is going to be making the grinder, the spinning wheel, and the glue masher process all items that are in the queue at the same time. So if you go in here to the grinder can handle up to 5 things in the queue. Same thing for the spinning wheel, can handle 5 things in the queue, and the glue masher can handle 5 things in the queue. The only difference between these and the oven is, and the cookery, is the oven and the cookery, when you put things in them, all 5 of them will process at the same time. These do one at a time, which means it's going to take 5 times as long for something to process versus just going in here and saying, I want to make mushroom bricks, bam, do all 5, and then all 20 of these mushroom bricks will be finished at the same time. That'll just be a nice quality of life change. It'll allow us to save a lot of time and just make things more efficiently. In addition to that, I hope they'll consider looking at the costs of crafting or the options for crafting the upgraded things in the game, so the plating and the whetstones. So right now you can craft brittle whetstone using the brittle quartzite shards you find, or you can craft it using sap and a larva spike. If we go up here to the tier 2s, you're going to notice that those require the sturdy quartzite shards, or we can use sap plus spider fangs. And then on this save, I don't even have the tier 3s unlocked yet, but the tier 3 supreme whetstone is going to cost sap and black ox horns. So what ends up happening is, as you can see here, I have a ton of larva spikes, because not only do larva drop them, the ladybird larva drop them. So throughout the game, you're going to get access to a lot of these. Sap's super easy to come by because you can just set up a bunch of sap catchers. But there's only a limited number of wolf spiders on the map, and there's only a limited number of black ox beetles. They take a couple days to respawn. There's no guarantee they're going to drop the fangs or the black ox parts. So what ends up happening is you end up having to basically farm a lot of them and do it constantly just to be able to get even a modest amount of the resources. So hopefully they will consider allowing us to craft them. I would suggest using something like maybe for the tier 1s. I mean, the tier 1s are okay, but they could also add red ant mandibles. I think it'll be nice for the tier 2s to have something else like, I don't know, mosquito beaks or the stingers from the bees, just to allow us to have other options. And for tier 3, they could do something like the termite chompers or tiger mosquito beaks, just to have multiple options, or just allow us to have like anything we can turn into it. So any kind of aggressive enemy, we could turn it into those different resources, even if it's not at a 1-to-1 cost. So if the black ox horn is 1, but the others are 2 or 3-to-1, I'd be okay with that as well, just to make it so that I can actually craft things in a reasonable manner and not have it take basically forever. because I did a complete playthrough, and on my complete playthrough after 1.0 on a fresh start, I was only able to upgrade, I think, one weapon to level 9, and I think I had a couple at level 7 or 8, whereas before 1.0, I was able to upgrade pretty much every weapon and armor set I wanted to level 9 without much trouble. And then two things I want to mention on the building side that I hope they'll consider, since it looks like they're putting a lot of like new decoration stuff in. One's going to be would be traps. So they did mention they were thinking about adding new traps. There was other traps they had in mind. I would like to see the base defenses have more viability in terms of actually building traps instead of just having us spam walls. So if they added some more traps, that'd be cool. And then two building pieces I would like to see would be a vertical half wall. So as an example right here, I tried to box this in as best as I could, but the original plan was basically to step this thing down. And when I did that, I ended up finding out that I couldn't really fill in this spot because I needed a vertical half wall. So I'd like them to add vertical half walls, as well as add a triangle piece that you can place where the long part is on the bottom. So if we go to the triangle pieces here and look at the walls, you'll notice that you can do this or flip it around. You can even flip it the other way. The one thing you can't do is have the long part on the bottom. And what that would do would be allow us to actually fill in the gaps between the roof pieces. So if you put this roof up here, what will end up happening is you can't fill this piece in here because there's no triangle piece that can fit in here. So I would like to see that as well. And then the one big thing on my wish list that I would like to see is a either standalone base defense mode, such as like you just log in and on the menu there's a base defense mode that would allow us to just only do base defenses, have no story, nothing like that. And you could have two options for it. One being where everything's unlocked, and another one being where you could actually just unlock everything by kind of like a 7 days to die thing, where you just load into the map, have no resources. You have to scrounge around and get a bunch of resources in order to build yourself a base and then just see how long you could stay alive. I think that would be pretty cool. Or another option would be, this might be a little bit easier, would be to just allow us to have repeatable mixers, because right now the mixers are one time. To me, they're the best kind of base defense. The faction raids don't really happen that often, and because they're scaled, like each different faction has its own meter, basically meaning that you'll have to get multiple from, like as an example, if red ants attack me, they'll be at level 0. And then if I get attacked next time by larva, that's going to be level 0. So essentially, by the time you end up finishing the game, you've probably gotten very few raids, and basically none of them are hard. So hopefully they'll consider adding an ability to replay the mixers, or just do that standalone base defense mode. I know we have the waft emitters, but honestly, the waft emitters I'm not really a fan of, as I've talked about before, so I'm not going to rehash that. So anyway, let me know what your favorite part is, that the teaser that you've seen, that we've seen so far. Let me know if there's anything that I mentioned that you would like to see, or if there's anything you would like to see. And definitely make sure you check out the dev live stream on Wednesday so you can ask any questions about any future updates. Personally, I'm most interested in what else has not been shown. While the cosmetic stuff is pretty cool, the quality of life is pretty cool, I'm more interested in, is there any plans for more content coming in the future? So I'll definitely be tuning in, and I'll be live streaming tomorrow night as well, or depending on when you're watching this, I'll be live streaming Wednesday night to discuss everything talked about in the dev live stream, as well as playing on my WoW mode save. So make sure you stop by and chat and let me know what you think about what's been revealed, and I'll let you know what I think about what's been revealed. So anyway, if you found this video informative, make sure to hit the like button, and here's another video you might want to watch as well.